It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 231 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens.
More chickens! We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton. But most importantly,
we hug chickens every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee house in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Breakfast blend.
In the afternoon.
This is evening.
This is the evening.
Breakfast blend in the evening,
man.
Mm-hmm.
This is the evening. Yeah, we need some coffee to get us going. So we have a code. It's CWTCL 15 for 15% off a bagged coffee. Where should everybody go to get this?
brightenearlycoffee.com.
And if you use K-Cups, go on over to Amazon. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to see that chicken car, go see it. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious breakfast blend in the evening?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okay, so we're back at the table. We're at our table. We're here.
We're here. That means I hiked a country mile to get over here. So we could record together for a change.
We have not everybody knows us, but because of the winter and illnesses, we've not really been together. We've had to record via Zoom, which is okay. We've worked it, but we're at our table today. And it is good to be sitting back at the table. I never noticed our tablecloth has eggs on it, along with the roosters.
Neither have I. And now I've noticed it. Now I'm never going to unsee it.
Today, I noticed it.
We've had this tablecloth on the table for like a year.
No, more than that. Like 2-3 years.
Now noticing there are eggs on the table.
I thought it was just roosters, but no, there's eggs.
Organic, farm fresh eggs daily is
that's what's on that tablecloth.
That's what it says. Early Rise Rooster Farm.
So it's good to see you here.
Likewise. Good to be here. Good to be seen.
Good to be seen. We had a really nice talk with Fiona today. We haven't talked to her in forever, so we caught up with her.
It was really nice to get caught up.
We had to go over our plans because we're going to be meeting when we go to London.
That's right.
In person.
We've got a day with Fiona. It's going to be super, super duper fun.
After 5 years of Zoom friendship, now we're going to meet in person. Pretty
Fiona
cool.
has no idea what's coming her way.
I think she does. She's like, oh boy.
She probably does.
She might be sleeping on the top bunk. You never know.
That top bunk is yours. You are on the top bunk.
You're going to wake up and I'm going to be on the bottom bunk with you.
I don't care. As long as I'm not on the top bunk, it's fine. Who thought adult bunk beds were a good idea anyway?
It's all good. It's all good. So what's going on at your place?
Planting things like crazy and trying to train my geese not to eat the roses.
Oh, because they're sweet. They like them.
Everything likes rose leaves. Like if you let the sheep out in a field where there's multiflora rose, they will just devour it. So yeah, they like to dig things up. So I planted lingonberries underneath of my espaliered apple trees, right?
Okay.
And one of those naughty geeses went in there and she pulled up the lingonberry from the roots.
Oh, lingonberries. Are they the one they have at IKEA?
Yes. They're delicious, IKEA, for the rest of the world.
Yeah, my dad has always called them IKEA, so we cannot. And now Holly Ann's family now calls it IKEA.
And my husband does too. So.
Yeah, so they serve them in their cafeteria there. Now you're growing them?
And you can buy lingonberry jam. Yes.
Did you bring some today?
Chris, they haven't fruited yet. I just planted them. I'm telling you.
Oh, well, I got to wait a little while.
You do. And the geese dug up one of them.
Are going to eat them all.
Because the geese can be naughty if you're not right there with them.
You're going to get like a perfect berry and they're going to be like, boom, gone.
I don't know how long it takes for the lingonberries to bear fruit. I will tell you that my gooseberries and yastaberries are bearing fruit this year.
There's something like a little naughty about saying bear fruit, but I don't
Bear
know.
fruit. Good Lord.
I don't know. Just a little.
Bear fruit.
I don't know. Are you bearing fruit?
My gooseberry is bearing fruit. It's got bear fruit.
Mm.
First flowers, then bear.
It's flowered.
It's flowered, and then there's bear fruit.
That's right.
That's how that works.
That's how that works. Well, I did some gardening yesterday.
Woohoo!
Everybody throw a party. Woohoo! I did clean up some of my beds, getting ready to plant. The peonies are popping. Had to take a little break in between just to ice the knee. Sometimes you got to ice things. You got to do that.
Apparently, there's a lot of frequent icing at this age. Once you turn 50, just invest in some really good ice packs.
Exactly. Well, on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. You make our day when you type something in. We love to read it. So just leave us a review. We would love to see that on there. And hit that subscribe button. Why? Because would you ever want to miss this fun of bearing fruit? No, you wouldn't. And they count them.
Bare naked fruit?
Bare naked fruit, baby. Do you want to miss bare naked fruit? I would not.
If you're looking for other ways to help support the podcast, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thank you to all of our patrons. We love all of you. And the other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay!
So, winter is coming.
It's better when Sean Bean says it.
Can you stay on topic for just a minute?
What topic?
Winter. Well, chickens, obviously, and igloo coops from Omelette.
Oh, yeah. You got to have an igloo for winter.
If you don't know igloos, they're engineered for extremes. Double insulated, waterproof, and stormproof.
They keep out any weather and all predators.
And you can just wipe them clean.
My girls and little man are so comfy in their Igloo Pro.
Mine too. Warm and dry all year round.
Winter is coming.
Be ready with an igloo.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tea, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. How you doing, mate? It's time for the Breed Spotlight.
Oh, Lord. That's a painful one. Yeah.
Did you just see the kangaroo hopping down the street?
Oh, okay, stop. That's enough.
Okay, so it's time for the Breed Spotlight. Yeah, mate.
Oh, okay. So we are in Australia because this week's breed is the Australorp.
It's the Australorp, mate. So we've done this Breed Spotlight way back. And so we just want to bring it back in, liven it up, because it's a great, good, stable chicken for a homestead.
Well, the thing is, with the chicken boom right now, we have got a ton of new listeners. And we're getting a lot of questions about what we think are good beginner breeds. And the Australorp is a fantastic beginner breed.
It is. It's fantabulous. That's my own word there.
Okay. Now, the gorgeous Australorp, or Australian Black Orpington, it's a contraction. It's also sometimes known as the Australian Black Utility Orpington.
Correct.
It was created in Australia in the late 18 and early 1900s, principally for egg production.
This is one of those sleeper surprising chickens that you're like, I didn't know this.
They're great chickens. They're also used as a dual-purpose breed because they're on the heavy side.
They're big.
Right?
They're big.
There are several sort of vague accounts of the origin of the Australorp floating around out there. So we've done our best to weed through some of this and put together the story for you from the most reliable accounts and sources that we could find.
Lewis Wright. He's probably going to be on here.
I don't think Lewis is in here anywhere, no.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, quite serious.
Wow.
So these beautiful black chickens, we love them for a laid-back flock. And you'll hear people talking about a mixed flock, like a mixed flock of layers.
Right.
And that generally just means you have different breeds in there, right?
This is where I think people get confused is when we talk about the mix of different breeds. This is why the breed spotlights are so important, because you want to know which breeds go better or best with other breeds.
Right. And so we can tell you that this is a really nice laid-back chicken. The Livestock Conservancy currently lists the Australorp in the recovering category, which is great.
It's not a surprise to me.
Right. So
I mean, most farm supply stores, all your local hatcheries are going to carry the Australorp.
yeah,
It is a very popular chicken, and this is why we like to talk about this one.
I feel like they're not popular enough with beginners. They just don't fall on that list that people give beginners, but they should. They should be towards the top of that list.
I feel like they are popular, but they do fall through some cracks.
Mhm.
Like you hear about them a lot, and then you don't hear too much about them. But they are a really good chicken.
In various episodes, we've talked about the development of the Orpington in England by breeder and businessman William Cook.
Oh, we got William Cook in this one.
We do. Now, the first Orpington color variety that he developed was black.
Mhm.
And it was some of these black birds that were imported into Australia, probably starting around 1890 and into the early 1900s. The Livestock Conservancy notes that about this time, the breeders in England were trying to refine the Orpington into a meat bird. They never really
We know this. They didn't do it.
They didn't really get there all the way right. The Australians, though, they were looking for both food security and business opportunities, and they wanted to concentrate on egg production. And part of that thinking was eggs are a really sustainable way to farm.
They are. And they're what we say one of the cleanest proteins you can ever eat. So
Absolutely.
yes, why not?
Now, to do this, they crossed the Black Orpington with some of the foundation breeds that went into its early development.
And surprise, surprise, some of these are Mediterraneans.
The Minorca
And the Leghorn.
and the Langshan from the Asiatic class. If you look at an Australorp, you can see the Langshan in there.
I mean, Langshans are big chickens, so they get
Yeah.
a little bit of the size from there.
Mhm.
But what they get from the Mediterraneans is what they wanted them to get, that
The egg
laying
Mhm.
ability.
That's right. And one of the goals of the Australian farmers was to breed out some of the Orpington's super broody tendencies.
I don't think they took it all the way out. I think some of these chickens do have a tendency to be broody.
I don't think you can get broodiness completely out of the English breeds. That's just my opinion.
No.
Now, here's where things get interesting. From 1902 to about 1924, the Australorp took part in a bunch of egg-laying contests that were held in Australia. The first contest was held by an Australian agricultural college, and Australorp hens took 7 places out of the top 13. That's pretty good. In another contest, a team of 6 Australorp hens laid 1,857 eggs over a 1-year period. So that's just over 309 eggs each.
Now, when you think about it, there's 352 days in a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of eggs.
That's a lot of eggs,
309 days, you got an egg.
The Livestock Conservancy website notes that the Australorp holds the world record for laying eggs. 364 eggs in 365
One day.
days.
It was probably Christmas morning.
That's right. She was like, this is my day off.
she's like, I need a day off,
day
man. That's pretty remarkable.
It really is.
I mean, when you think about a chicken of that size, normally chickens that are bigger
Mhm.
don't have that ability. They're not the high egg layers. So they took
Right.
the chicken and they kept the size
Mhm.
and they brought in the characteristics of the egg laying, but still kept the chicken big. It's kind of remarkable when
Well,
you
right.
think about it.
So you start off with the Orpington, which is a big bird, and you breed Minorca and White Leghorn into there.
Little birds.
Little birds. And then you add the Langshan back in, again, for the big size. So I think the farmers really hit their mark.
They did, because the Australorp does resemble the Orpington a lot.
Mhm. As we said, the Australorp was a great success as a good-sized dual-purpose chicken that truly was champion layer. News of these record-setting hens had traveled to the UK and the US, and the Australorp showed up in both countries during the 1920s. That did not take long.
No, because if a chicken's going to lay, just take one day off, people are going to want this
That's
chicken.
pretty amazing. In the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection, the Australorp is found in the English class. They were admitted to the Standard of Perfection in 1929 and only recognized in the original black color. Now, the Australian breed standard allows for black, white, and blue, and there would also be some splash in there.
Never seen them over here.
No.
I mean, that would be kind of interesting to see, but that is the Australian side of it.
Right,
so
right.
Australia, we have to now go to Australia. Who wants to host us over in Australia? If you're listening, let us know.
Heck of a flight, though. I don't know about that.
Oh, we can do it. We can do it.
We roll out the compression socks for that one.
No. Roll them down.
Roll them down.
Okay, so those Australorps, like we were saying, they are large bodied. I mean, that's the thing that's pretty remarkable. They kept their size. They got the good egg laying from the little Mediterraneans. They're glossy black with a beetle green sheen, because when you have those black feathers, that green sheen is like a separate color for them in the sun.
Stunning.
I mean, they are like all black chickens, but that green sheen, it's like the boy with the green hair. I talk about that movie all the time. That green is pretty remarkable. When we show pictures of truffle up there with the green sheen, it's remarkable. They have a moderately straight and large comb and wattles. They're known for their dark eyes, their dark beak, those dark legs with the pink soles that's so cute on their feet.
That's one of the ways that you can tell if a black hen that you're looking at is a Jersey Giant or an Australorp.
Right.
The bottoms of the Jersey Giant feet are yellow, Australorp are pink.
Now, roos are coming in at about 8.5 pounds, and the hens are at 6.5 pounds. So they are about Orpington size. And there is a bantam version, which is, I'm sure, so cute. I can't remember if Ginger told us they had them there or they don't.
No.
The Australorps.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to get Ginger on that. Now, the Australorp hens, needless to say, are excellent layers of large brown eggs. I put them right in the top category. Despite the fact that they are such good layers, they do go broody. You can't take that Orpington out completely.
I don't think it's as bad. It's not as bad as the Orpingtons, definitely, but they will go broody sometimes.
And the broodiness will cut down on those eggs, those egg numbers that you're going to see, because when they're broody, they don't lay.
They're not laying, right.
So you want to do something that you can to get them out of the broodiness, but you won't necessarily need an incubator if you want to hatch eggs. So if you want to hatch some eggs, an Australorp would be a good choice to have in your flock.
Yeah, some people in homesteads don't want to do the whole incubator thing. And having done it, it is super easy to hatch with a broody hen. So.
Right. I mean, they're a fantastic homestead bird, and they're amazing with kids.
Great with kids. They're a wonderful addition to a laid-back layer flock. They are gentle and friendly birds, and they're beautiful in an elegantly simple way. I have 2 gorgeous Australorp roosters.
They were some of the first pictures we took of ourselves when we started this podcast, was holding those 2 boys.
Yep.
And I had never really held a rooster at that point because I had never had roosters.
Right.
And you were like, Chris, he'll be fine. And I was like, okay, here we go. And he was fine with me.
He was fine, yeah. Now, those 2 boys don't have hens, but they are sweet as pie. I adore them. They're some of the nicest chickens I've ever known.
But they want hens. Let's just make this clear.
You know, they like the geese, or Hideo likes the geese. He's always trying to call the geese over.
They're like, we'll take you down.
He's like, I like the big ladies. Come over here because you're pretty.
Now, because of that size, they're pretty cold hardy, which is great. Now they're going to need some fans because of the size. So they can't handle the heat as well. They got a lot of feather load.
They're similar to some of the American breeds that came out of the East Coast in Ohio. Buckeyes, you know, so you have a larger body chicken. They do take the heat pretty well.
They got some fluff.
They've got some fluff to keep them warm in the winter along with that body mass. But just like any other bird, the heat can overcome them. So you do have to watch that.
The heat is horrible. I am praying for a cooler summer this year.
Summer would be nice.
It would be. So here's the big question. Where can you get them? Accessibility is great for this chicken.
Because they're in the recovering category, they're way easier to find now, way more accessible. But you should start with the line at Murray McMurray Hatchery.
They're beautiful. You can't go wrong.
They're just not hard to find these days. And that's because they're no longer endangered, which is a great thing.
I think all the chickens should be like that. If chickens were available to people to buy them, we wouldn't have this problem.
Exactly.
And that's partly what I say all the time. If you have an Australorp, give us a story. We want to see your chickens. We love it when you send the pictures over. We'll give you a story. We'll share it. On your story, hit the mention button and then put our name in, and it goes directly to our messages, and then I can share it very easily onto our Instagram.
Now, if you're a beginning chicken keeper and you wander into the feed store and you see Australorps and you think, should I get them?
Do.
The answer is yes. Yes, you should.
There are a lot of people's faves. So, and that's for a reason.
Yeah.
For sure.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit metzerfarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Okay, so we're ready to move on to main topic. Yeah. Now, this week, the guests for this week's main topic, I'm going to bring in the guests.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome Chrissie DiCarlo and Holly Ann Kosmala to the table. Yay!
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's good to be here at the table. We are our guests this week. And this week, we're talking permaculture habitat for poultry.
Right.
Because we want to know what kind of things these chickens can do to help your permaculture situation.
Right.
So we're going to explain what permaculture is for everyone who may not completely understand it.
Much like the Australorp is a contraction of the Australian Orpington, permaculture is a contraction of permanent agriculture. And it's essentially a method of gardening and farming that relies on perennial plants and recycling farm and garden waste to build healthy soil.
So you're all probably doing it and not aware of it, that it had a name.
The thing with permaculture that I found as I took courses and got more into it is that there's even more that you can be doing in your place that you probably don't even realize yet.
There's always more.
Right. So things in permaculture are generally expected to fulfill more than one function that helps to solve existing problems and to eliminate waste as much as possible.
I mean, it's a way also to use the waste of the chickens to help your garden.
That's what I just said.
I know. I was just saying it in my way. I was just reiterating that chicken poop can be used for things.
Absolutely.
Lots
Now,
of things.
A permaculture poultry habitat would be an area separate. We've been talking about this for a while because we're so predator saturated in this area. And a lot of times it's just really good for your chickens to get them out on fresh substrate.
Right.
Just even for an hour or two. It's really good for them. And so we were talking about setting up a poultry habitat that would be separate from the coop and run. It may be surrounding the coop, or it may be adjoining the coop, or it may simply be nearby, like your small peach orchard.
Right. I mean, the thing is, mine go over there, but I supervise it.
Right.
So, I mean,
and you'd still have to supervise them in the poultry habitat unless
Right.
you really predator-proof it, but you wouldn't have to have your eyes constantly glued on them.
well, what you're saying is use an area where they're going to have some cover and not be completely out and for somebody to fly by and see them right away.
Right. So some containment and some cover. So you would fence or hedge this in. It would be planted with chicken-safe perennials or any annuals that you like.
Right.
And the habitat would essentially solve the following problems.
So we have a list of 9 problems that it would solve. So we're going to go through the list one by one. I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
A safe place for your birds to free range while you supervise, but also giving you an opportunity to do other work and not just sit and mind them. Now, look, if you want to sit and mind them, do that.
Absolutely.
If you want to garden, you can just look every few minutes. And what you're saying is if you garden this area, this gives them places to hide, to keep concealed.
Right.
So you won't have to worry about them as much.
Right.
But you still have to worry a little bit.
Now, depending on where and how you plant, this area can provide food for you and your flock.
Exactly. Now, you're going to keep the deer and other critters away from your plants because you're going to have a little bit of a barrier up.
Right, right.
And that can be just a 4-foot barrier. It doesn't have to be the big run barrier, 3-foot barrier that's kind of going to go around.
Right. You have to figure out what works for you. And obviously your birds are going to eat some of these plants.
And
but
you need to make sure they're safe.
Right. They're not going to do the kind of wholesale destruction that deer can do.
No, not at all. They can do some destruction though. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. Chickens. Yeah. So the plants that you choose will provide extra cover for your flock that gives them places to dive into and keep them away from the eyes of predators, especially aerial predators.
Yeah, and especially if you have bright white chickens or something that, you want to have places where they can kind of mix in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, free ranging gives your birds time on fresh substrate. This is what we were saying. It definitely, you want to give them a place to eat a little bit of grass, search for bugs that they normally don't search for, a new place for bugs and grubs and different things. So that's what that is going to provide.
And you don't have to use this every day.
You can use it once a week, once a month. You can move it to different places.
Rotate your flocks in there.
Right, definitely.
The chicken or other poultry poop in this area is going to fertilize the trees and plants that are planted there.
So you're going to get great bare naked fruit.
Absolutely.
Now you're going to create naturally fed plants that are low maintenance because the chicken poop is rich in really good nutrients for all the plants, and it's going to help feed them. So that's going to be awesome.
You can use dirty poultry bedding as mulch. So if your poultry area is planted with perennials, we put annuals in there too, but if it's planted with perennials, right? So this is like existing trees and things like that. You can take the dirty poultry bedding straight out of the coop and dump it right down as mulch around those trees.
And I do that in the run. I just take my pine shavings and put them on the ground already. But that tells you that you can also use it someplace else. That's great. The shade and lots of vegetation offer cool spots for your birds because if you have shade due to plants, it's going to keep it cooler than just an umbrella or something like that. So those different things can help your chickens and it can help your garden.
Absolutely.
Both at the same time.
Yeah. Now, some of the chicken-safe perennials, I've been doing a lot of planting in my permaculture habitat, and I'm keeping in mind geese, the future ducks, and the chickens.
Well, the geese are just going to eat all your stuff.
If they have a chance. I mean, geese are so dramatic, so if you're not gentle enough when you shoo them, they start carrying one as if...
Are you sure the geese aren't, like, pecking all your lights on your car? That's why they're going out.
No, they can't reach that light. Yeah.
They're like... Take the tag light out. She can't go out.
No, but they've definitely made inroads on the roses. I planted sorrel, which is an annual. I planted that in the front garden, and I saw Mirabelle and Pfeffernusse over there helping themselves.
You can't catch them. You're not fast enough to catch them.
And the thing is, if you plant enough and you get the plants where they're big enough, the geese eating leaves here and there.
Do you have to chase them?
Gently. If you actually like shout at them or chase them, they run around like the world is ending. Their wings out screaming.
Oh, man.
But I can keep them off of that area until the sorrel takes off and there's a lot of it. And then they can nibble it. It's fine. You just have to guard it at first.
Okay. So I'm going to list fruit trees. Okay.
Chicken safe. This is poultry safe perennials.
Poultry safe perennials. Let's list it. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
Apples. Shocker.
Hush you.
Holly Ann has a lot of apple trees. I mean,
you got a problem with that?
Where are these apples? I want some.
You have the geese too.
Okay, pears. I have a beautiful pear tree.
You do?
That I love. Cherries.
You skipped over the peaches.
Peaches? Gonna get me a peach.
Oh my God.
Okay, peaches. I have peach trees and those peaches are good. Everybody should come taste one. They're good.
Yes.
Okay. Then we go back to cherries, figs, crayon apples. I got myself some crayon apples.
Crab apples.
Oh, sorry.
You have your glasses on.
Okay, let me go back. Crab apples. I have crab apples. Holly's had some.
I have one now, yeah.
Of course you do. Mulberry. I have a mulberry.
I have a lot of mulberry trees.
My neighbor has a mulberry.
I know she does. Okay.
Plum, persimmon. I can never say this when you say it.
Persimmon?
Persimmon. Okay.
Persimmon.
I don't know what the next one is.
Oh, that's medlar.
Medlar. What's medlar?
Medlars are... Remember Hugh Osborne was on and he was talking about this very sweet fruit that the boys called dog's arse fruit?
Dog's arse.
Or dog's bum. Dog's bum fruit.
I do remember.
The medlar, because it gets...
It's a weird name, man.
It's a very... I mean, like Henry VIII grew medlars. These are really old... Oh my God.
Sorry.
These are really, really old trees. Anyway, they're in the apple and rose family and they're great.
Okay. Grapevines, which I'm planting this year. Mm-hmm. We all know this. Hardy kiwi. I need me some hardy kiwi.
I tried a hardy kiwi. Mine died. I think I didn't have it in a very good spot.
Now, Holly Ann's going to list the tubers because those I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
A lot of the tubers are South Americans, like a lot of them from the Andes. So the first one, and these
I could get the daylilies and the sunchokes.
sunchokes,
Yeah.
oca, crones, and mashua. And they all grow starchy tubers that you harvest in the fall. The leaves are all on the plants. They're all safe for chickens and other poultry to chew on.
Okay.
The sunchokes can be really tall.
Okay.
Like some of them can be 8 feet tall.
Wow.
And so I'm putting them in front of my big runs where they actually add some shade.
Pete will feel short next to them.
Maybe. Or maybe I feel vindicated. Like finally something as tall as me.
So I'm going to go ahead and list the perennial veggies and herbs. And they include New Zealand or Malabar spinach, sea kale, good King Henry, sage, thyme, oregano, lemon balm, roses, anise,
Hyssop.
and that was it. But
Yeah,
there's
that's it. But there are others. I mean, there are
There's
other.
so many others that you could choose. Now, Holly is going to list all the annuals.
Well, I'm going to tell you first that sea kale is a little like some of these. The sea kale, the good King Henry, they're almost survival plants.
Like
they're
meet up with Henry VIII.
Yeah, definitely. They might not be what you choose every day to put in a salad. They can be a little coarse.
You could use them for your garden party.
You could. I mean, there's a lot you can do with them. And again, they're perennials and the birds can eat them. In fact, the geese ate the sea kale down to the ground.
I mean, those are the things that you could just put in for your birds. There's no reason why you can't plant these things.
And if you
just for your poultry to eat.
If you get in a bad way, you can eat them if you need to.
I mean, the bad way, you have a chicken on your head and you're eating some sea kale.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Do what you got to do, man. So now there's a long list. You got to start this list.
Well, annuals, just because these are things that I have planted that I let my birds range around every year. And so your annuals, you plant these every year. So if you're looking for super low maintenance, you might want to just stick with perennials. Annuals include the most common and delicious garden veggies and flowers. So we're talking from bok choy to green beans, cabbage to sweet potatoes, pumpkin and squash, which obviously you can feed your family and your birds.
Mm-hmm.
And squash vines offer really great cover from aerial predators.
Yeah.
Nasturtiums, I wanted to mention them because they're one of my favorites for edible flowers and leaves that the chickens will love. Plus, nasturtium leaves make amazing pesto.
And let's talk about some of the herbs that you're doing. They're multi-year, so you may have to replant them every few years as you go, like oregano's one, basil, and rosemary.
My oregano has been alive for years because it's planted close to my house. But I have to replant rosemary every couple. Basil for me every year. Rosemary every 2 or 3 years.
I had a beautiful rosemary bush.
It was huge.
And then if you get a bad winter, it's done.
Yeah, it's true.
It kills everything. Doing the gardening and planting, having a place for them to go where you're not worried about them eating something and it keeps them preoccupied. The other thing is it's a boredom buster.
It is.
So it gives them a little bit of a different space to go to. So that's also a good thing. And try it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have
I'm going to be trying a lot this year.
Right. If you have a space where you can use your chicken bedding instead of having to buy mulch it's just taking these things and finding creative ways to recycle them, to cut down on work for you and to enrich your poultry.
I can't wait to plant my grapevines this year because that is going to be my solution for shade.
I actually might plant a grapevine too.
Yeah, so I have to get them.
That was fun. You and I were sort of doing a brainstorm, what kind of vine could you use that's edible for us and the chickens?
Yeah.
And
can you imagine the chickens trying to jump to get the grapes?
In fact, I may get a grapevine or two and put that on the Australorp boys run.
I mean, it's a great thing for shade cover because you know it's going to grow and it's strong. So
exactly,
grow. So
make you some wine.
These are just some starting things to do. We're not going into it too much, but try these things. You might be able to grow some good veggies and you might be able to help your poultry not be bored and give them a place to go.
Even more food security, and you're using a lot of stuff.
Right. Don't waste.
You'd be discarding. Right.
Exactly.
Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier. Plus, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the U.S., and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. Okay, so we're ready to move on to
Cracking the eggs.
Cracking those eggs. Now, found this older recipe that we kind of re-swizzled and made our own.
Yeah, so this is the end of April, so the end of our brunch dishes.
We love brunch, man. We love brunch. So we needed to keep doing it. And this week we're doing
sour cream and onion potato chip frittata.
I mean, that takes a twist on the frittata. The frittata's been twisted and turned in every which way that you can.
It's a lot of frittata. Well, as soon as you said this, my initial reaction was, what? Potato chips? And then I thought, well, why not for like a party dish? You're not eating the whole thing yourself.
No.
Unless you want to.
I mean, it adds a lot of good stuff into this. So let's go into the ingredients that you're going to need. 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a half of a medium yellow onion, and you're going to mince that. You're going to use 8 large eggs because right now you got them. So you want a recipe that's going to use them. A generous handful of shredded mozzarella or dairy-free mozzarella. And we do not measure this. We eyeball it where it looks good.
So I said a generous handful. And when I say a generous handful, I mean...
She means the bag.
Pretty much. You use 2 bags, though.
I use a lot of cheese. Here at the DeCarlo house, we love our cheese.
It's very cheesy.
A 1/4 cup of sour cream or dairy-free sour cream. Now, here's the big one. Now, we're going to put a little caveat to this because if you're listening in some places, you're not going to find these. But 1.5 cup of Utz sour cream and onion chips because in our area in the Mid-Atlantic, Utz are the chips to have.
Well, the thing to know about the Utz sour cream and onion chips is that they're ridged.
Oh, they're
And so
ruffled. They're ruffled. Ruffled chips.
Ridges, right.
I call them ruffled.
Yeah, I know you do. They're ridges.
They're ruffled.
And they hold up to the frittata better. They don't get soggy as fast, essentially.
And Utz is the best chips ever. My dad turned Ella into an Utz snob when she was in school. She could not eat anything but Utz.
I was like somewhere between 10 and 12 years old when I found out that Utz wasn't the only potato chip maker in the country. And I'm serious.
So if you're someplace else, you just need sour cream and onion chips.
Yeah.
But so 2 tablespoons of chopped chives, more for garnish, more if you like the taste. Kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper this time.
What?
We put on there.
No, that's white pepper. That's a mistake. White pepper. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and you're going to heat that olive oil in a medium skillet over medium heat. Add your onion, and you're going to cook, stirring occasionally until they start to get golden and caramelize a bit. It can be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending how fast you cook them. I will say the slower you cook them, the more they caramelize.
Okay.
In a large mixing bowl, you're going to combine the eggs, the mozzarella, and the sour cream. You're going to whisk or stir that to combine. Add the potato chips and the chives and stir it again to combine everything. And then you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes to soften up a little bit. Then season it with salt and pepper. When your onions are caramelized, you're going to pour that egg mixture into the skillet over top of the onions and stir it to evenly distribute the potato chips. You don't want all your potato chips on one side.
No, you don't.
Cook for about 5 to 7 minutes or until the bottom of the frittata has cooked. Once the bottom of your frittata is cooked, you're going to transfer that skillet to the oven and you're going to bake until the eggs are just set on the top, another 10 to 12 minutes. Take it out of the oven, let it cool for at least 5 minutes, and then you can garnish it with sour cream, with crushed potato chips and more chives.
It's the texture. It's just the texture.
Yeah.
You got those ruffled chips in there. You got all that crunch along with the baked egg, the cheese.
And lots of sour cream and onion goodness.
I mean, this is a great hostess gift to take to somebody's house because you kind of look like you're really outdoing yourself, but it's really easy.
I think it's a really fun brunch dish.
Frittatas are good. We love them. You can make them in so many different ways. And you can now make them with Utz chips. Try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. We want to see that you're making these things. Use these eggs in all different kinds of ways. Okay, so we're ready to move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy is a Holly Ann pick because she is about this nursery. You love this nursery.
I do. It's Raintree Nursery in Washington State. Now, they've got all kinds of really fantastic fruit trees, bushes, unusual edibles. I mean, they're really great if you're trying to do
the legal kind.
The legal kind, right? I don't mess with the other kind.
You said the edibles.
Edible. Well, edible just means
I know, but it just sounds weird.
Oh, because people call marijuana edibles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. I've never done any of that. It's not my scene, man. So apple trees, pear trees, you can get medlars there. You can get a lot of those Andean tubers we mentioned.
Right.
They're a little pricier than some other nurseries, but the plants are big and healthy. I feel like they set you up for success.
That's what she said.
Yes.
So you definitely want to try them out because, if you start off with something that's not going to take off, it's going to turn you off.
It really will, yeah.
So start with something higher quality. It doesn't always have to be more expensive, but shop around and get your plants that look sturdy and good. And here's the other thing. Read. I have to do this all the time. The sun versus shade and how much they need and know the area that you're putting them in, because that can be a recipe for failure. If you put a shade plant in a sunny area, it's not going to work. So just know all those things.
Raintree also has videos for a lot of its products, right on the page.
Nice.
I believe the lady that does the videos is named Jennifer. I could be wrong about that, but she'll tell you what this apple tastes like. She'll tell you how tall this plant grows, what it's good for.
If she's ever sick, you could fill in on the apples.
I probably could.
You'd be like, hello, this is Holly. I'm going to tell you how an Empire apple tastes today, and then I'm going to tell you how the Pink Lady apple tastes
Pink
tomorrow.
Lady's my favorite. Do not mess with the Pink Lady, okay? Otherwise known as Crips Pink.
It's very crunchy. Let me take a bite.
Well, you like those boring old Honey Crisp.
I like all apples.
Okay, so there we go. I know you'll even eat a Red Delicious, which I think is disgusting.
I'll eat anything organic. They have to be organic. And that is not any way, but apples are like part of that dirty dozen. There's a lot of pesticides on regular apples to keep them good longer.
That's right.
Apples are one of those fruits that I never purchase unless they're organic for that reason.
Imperfect looking skin on an organic apple does not change the taste at all.
No. And this is coming from the apple expert, so.
I'm not an apple expert. That's the scary thing. What I know about apples could probably fit on the head of a pin. There are people out there.
We have to figure out, did you do 23andMe? Are you related to Johnny Appleseed?
It's possible.
Here comes Johnny Appleseed.
No, that's Peter Cottontail.
My songs are off today.
My songs are off today.
I'm just excited to be sitting at our table, looking at our stuff here in our studio. It's been so long. So nice.
It's been a while. It has been a while.
Okay, so now should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we are spotlighting one of the most popular American chickens in the world. This is like one of the basic, can't go wrong homestead birds. Quintessential homestead bird?
Yes.
The Plymouth Barred Rock.
La la.
Main topic, Daniel Salatin is joining us to talk about rotational grazing with your small flocks.
He's great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Cracking the eggs, because we're going to London at the end of the month of May, we're going to do some English recipes. We're starting with one of my favorite desserts, Eaten Mess.
Are you eating mess?
Yeah, it's a mess of meringue and whipped cream and fruit.
Sounds good.
It's delicious. And retail therapy, we're doing a company called Because Tees.
And they got lots of chicken tees.
Chicken t-shirts.
And sweatshirts and then a lot of stuff.
Fun.
Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
Every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.